Finally, Friday, and the markets are moving again. Welcome back, everybody. It's good to be here. If you are joining me today, please hit the like button, subscribe, engage in the live stream. We've got polls going on. Chat along during the live. Help engage so that YouTube shares us out with more people. Let's jump into it. We've been waiting all week for these anticipated economic numbers, and they're finally out. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, there are some pretty crazy numbers. Markets in general do seem to be reacting. I won't necessarily say positively. And let's just get into these. Let's throw them up. Watch your screens here. Whoa. All right, there we go. Just little errors in the morning. Here we go. U.S. hourly earnings. About forecast, not a big deal. Same as previous. Non-farm payroll employment change. This is the big one. There have been a lot of skepticism. There's been a lot of doubt. I don't know. Uncertainty around these numbers lately. The BLS has been swapped over, yet these numbers still come out very surprisingly, let's say. Let's just stick with that, surprisingly. We are looking at an actual of minus 92,000 non-farm payroll changes versus, and this is the big part, it's not necessarily that they shrank, it's that the forecast was at 60,000. Now, looking back in January, we had another kind of unusual print at a positive 126,000. That blew past estimates, and here we are again, 2 months in a row with just really weird numbers. And the way I interpret this, honestly, is maybe this is all BS. Maybe it's all just BS, these numbers. Last year, we had a downward revision of over 1 million jobs. It seems really difficult for an agencies that really their only job, well, one of their big jobs is to do this, and they can't seem to do it right. Now, is that incompetence or is it intentional? I don't know. Open to your opinions here. U.S. core retail sales at 0%, forecast 0.1, very close. Probably not a bullish sign, but not too bad. U.S. retail sales down 0.2% versus the forecast of 0.3, a little bit more bullish here. The kind of biggest takeaway or easiest overall is that none of this is really great. None of these are great numbers. They're not strong economic numbers. This isn't reflecting a super roaring economy. It's maybe signaling, and this is too early to call, some kind of recession, some kind of weakness in the market. The sharp fall in non-employment payroll is definitely a huge reversal since January. Unemployment is pretty steady. These two numbers are going to be in the Fed's mind coming up here on the 18th, I believe, of March during the FOMC. And interesting, the non-farm employment change, I hate saying that, the negative actual numbers here can be a motivating factor for the Fed to cut interest rates. We're in a really weird place. Inflation is probably still getting hot, right? It's not going away. And the recent conflict, we'll call it, or potential war starting up, not going to be a big disinflationary driver. We see oil already pumping. We'll check out the oil chart here in a little bit. We have conflicting data. The employment or the labor feels like it is weak, and that would call potentially for cuts, yet inflation continues to run, and that would potentially call for hikes. So the Fed is in between a rock and a hard place. There's no really perfect solution here. Maybe a wait and see stance. I don't think we're going to get a cut or a hike on the 18th, but maybe things will happen between then. We wouldn't think that we potentially would be at war right now. I don't know, 2 weeks ago. So here we are. Things change overnight. These numbers, other than non-farm employment change, they're unspectacular. Let me see the notes here. Yeah, cooling labor market potentially indicating broader economic weakness, ongoing fiscal policy uncertainties, immigration-related disruptions, and sector-specific issues like strikes. This could ease inflationary pressures, as I said, by reducing wage-driven demand. Something tells me that wage-driven inflation is not a primary factor in any of the inflation we have seen over the last few years. Any of it. January's job gains. Okay, January's job gains also were revised down. I actually just learned this morning by 4,000. So January was originally 130,000, then revised down 4,000. And for these numbers, that's weirdly more accurate than usual, provided they don't revise them again. It's only 4,000, only like a 3% downward revision. December was also revised down, and actually I just learned this right now reading the sentence. December's numbers were also revised down by 65,000, flipping that number from about 50,000 to negative 17,000, making a combined December-January figure 69,000 lower than previously reported. Wild. What is going on? What is going on? And it is easy to say, okay, well, there are some issues, I don't know, with this administration when it comes to data, but this is not a brand new thing. This has been going on for a long time. Why is it so difficult? Is it that it's just a hard thing to do, to calculate, tabulate new job gains? I mean, it isn't necessarily like anytime you get a job, you send a note to the government that says +1 job. It seems like we just can't do it. I don't understand. Some highlights in those numbers. Healthcare shed 28,000 jobs due to strikes. Interesting. Information sector down 11,000, continuing a downward trend. Government employment fell 10,000, down 330,000 since October 2024's peak. That's wild. Other sectors like manufacturing, retail, and construction showed little change. That's good. I mean, a bunch of probably normal jobs are hanging on there. Any kind of wrap up notes here? Let's see. Ooh, I don't know what that was. I just heard a bunch of beeps. Maybe it was my headphones. Persistent inflation, key driver, U.S. GDP, possibly do, yeah. Higher interest rates, policy uncertainties like tariffs. Drag on to Q1 growth. Yeah, not a lot there. Not a lot of other interesting or important information. That's about it. I think that's the main coverage. So let's take a look at some of our favorite charts here. I got Bitcoin up. I got gold up. We'll obviously look at, I should just pull it up now. Oil pumping. Oil should be the first chart, maybe. What do you think, guys? Oil first chart. This is pumping. Breaking the downtrend. Oil in tandem, looking very strong here with the most important chart of the day. So the most important chart of the day is either oil. This is obviously largely tied to the dollar. That's the other important chart. But also not a great indication of disinflation. Oil and energy costs moving up is probably the primary factor when it comes to inflation, or the core factor. And this is just not what you want to see if you were betting on inflation continuing to cool. That could be potentially bullish for all of our assets. Obviously, inflation drives the price of assets up. Those without assets get left behind in inflation. But the dollar, this is interesting. We are going to look at oil and just flipping over here for a second. Downward pressure on all assets right now from the dollar, obviously, minus oil. We've been watching this and kind of following the dollar. It's very hard to predict where it will go, but the dollar did break its descending trend, its high trend, its resistance, its supply line, and it has now moved back tested it, and held those gains. The dollar does look, I'd say in the short to midterm, bullish, and looking to at least test about the 100 point level. Yeah, we'll get back to that. Oil is, I didn't even expect to focus on oil today, but look at this. Look at this candle, man. It's like every other market is getting our crypto bull run except for us. Oil is now up 32% in the month, opening up at 40.74, now almost to 90 after trading as low as 69. That is quite a swing, about 30% up from its low. That is a clear breakout. This is the thing, is we were watching oil over the last few weeks, and basically I was saying nothing's happening. It's boring. We're just down here. This looks honestly very bearish. As long as we're under this trend line, we're just moving down. And here we are, man. This is a big move. This is a very, very big move. Not quite back to the 618. That'd be at 93.7. That's probably a good place to look for at least a breather on this rally. It is Friday, so this rally will come to a stop, at least over the weekend, giving markets some time to react. But look at that, man. Oil is on some big time frames, rolling over and looking to put on some serious gains. If nothing else changes, oil could easily be back to 2022's high, which is interesting because it lines up pretty well with the bear market, with the bear market bottom. Maybe oil will top out again during some kind of bear market across sectors, perhaps. Let's go down to the week. Anything else here? Breaking past these highs after, man, that is so clean. That's such a clean breakout. I guess just send it. Guys, instead of like getting COVID, we should have all been buying oil in 2020 at negative $30 a barrel. Like we all should have. I don't know what we were doing. I still don't understand that. Like I still am not quite sure how it traded negative. I mean, spot oil being negative makes sense because if there's nowhere for it to go and it's on tanker ships and it doesn't have anywhere to deliver, there's a cost to holding it, and so they want to have a negative price to get rid of it. But I don't know. Neither here nor there. I'd say by the end of the day, oil could easily be seeing 93. This is insanity. Who had this on their bingo card? Probably some of you, to be honest. You guys are smart. After the conflict in the East started, probably some of you. Above the 200-week moving average for the first time in a while, man. It doesn't, I guess it does feel great, but it does not feel great to watch every other asset known to man make these big moves while we're just sitting down doing nothing. It's okay. That's fine. I think more upside for oil. Leaving this gap here, that's just a clean breakout, man. How high do you guys think oil can go? Let's say in March. Curious what your thoughts are. Coupled with the dollar looking very strong here from, say, I guess like major support. I don't know. Trendline support did look like it was breaking down. It is still largely range bound. The dollar has been about in the same range since May of last year. We're coming up on a year here where the dollar has ranged between 195, 5% range. It's an interesting setup because I feel like it's hard to be bullish on the dollar with what's going on in the world. And I feel like it's even harder to be bullish on the dollar. Please stop calling me spam numbers. You're making my watch vibrate. I'm live. Get out of here. It's hard to bet bullishly on the dollar with what's going on in the world, and specifically with inflation continuing to obviously run away. I don't think it's been a surprise to us here on this channel, but it is to others that inflation was never cooling. Like maybe, you zoom in and cherry pick timeframes, inflation was cooling over a period of a month or something. But like overall, nothing has been chilling on price. Every time I buy something, it's more expensive than when I bought it, even if it was like 2 months ago. Oil blasting off is going to drive these prices up for pretty much everything. Maybe not instantly, but over time. We were just talking about kind of lower prices at the pump. That's probably not going to last at all. What I was saying is the dollar, though, is, it's hard to bet up, though the chart gives us kind of room in either direction. We have this inefficient fall, just a downward move on the dollar from the start of literally January of 2025, straight down. And that does leave kind of a void here to be filled on this chart. Like the dollar could trade, I'd say arguably, all the way up to like 106, 105, and still be in this downtrend and still break low. I think the better bet over the course of this year, probably into next year, is a downward break. We have inefficiency there as well. This could play out as distribution, and looking for the dollar to target like 89 or 90, I think is the play. I think is the play over the next year or two. All right, gold and silver and Bitcoin. Metals they just can't seem to catch a break, can they? Let's see what these days are. Gold at trendline support. Not trendline, at horizontal support. I do not like this, I'll be honest. So I have been bullish on gold. I remain pretty bullish on gold here. But I'm not liking what's going on at this point with price. 5,100 was the target for us for the long, looking to retarget those all-time highs or even just back to January's high. while that still is the direction I'm leaning, the longer we see this price action, the more I'm going to look for this to break to the downside. And I'll tell you why. While this is a beautiful, beautiful setup that I just can't shut up about, just keep repeating it. Beautiful, beautiful setup. Resistance broken, flip to support. I mean, it was just beautiful. Continuing to test this support, continuing to paint candles at 5,100 is eating away at that structural foundation that gold has built. The more days that we test 5,100, the more likely it becomes we break to the downside. Now, because we put in a lower high and we see that reflected on silver as well, we are not out of the woods. A quick test to 5,100 and then a move back up is what I was expecting, and that's not playing out quite the way I thought. When we start to look at some oscillators or indicators, we can see not surprising movement on these, but certainly not super bullish. On the day, RSI is just hanging out sideways, and it does have a bullish bias above its 50 line here, but it is it's looking a little different than what it was doing while it was blasting all-time highs. You could argue it looks like November to December, sure, but this tight price action, man, this is not what I was hoping to see. What is up, my friend Alex Hunda? Thanks for subscribing. Welcome. Be like Alex. Subscribe. Join our fam. Hit the like button. What's up, Bitcoin Bijan? Love your show. Love you, brother. Appreciate you being here all the time. I see you. SPX 69,000. We can look at it. Let me get through what I'm doing though. Let me crack through. I know I have a chart for this. I know we have a chart for this. Let me crack through what I'm doing here, and then we can look at it. We can like whatever shitters you want. Gold indicators, they're just showing signs of like kind of lagging, delaying, stagnating, and that's not what you want in this structure. You want to keep this bullish structure intact, and you want to see, honestly, just every sell-off bought up with ignited enthusiasm, more excitement, more buying, and it feels as if the opposite's happening. These downward moves are kind of getting heavy. They're getting heavier. Now, when we zoom out farther, I think probably everything's looking fine. This isn't the worst candle. 5,300-ish, the monthly open. We were briefly above, now we're below. A lot of time in this month for this chart to change. Last month, we had the drawdown to 4,400. This candle, or last month's candle, did look exactly like the candle we're on right now in March at one point, but it did close very bullishly, and continuation would be the logical assumption here for gold heading into the next 25 days. Just may take a long time. The weekly is a little bit more problematic, so at the higher time frames looking great, and then as we kind of zoom in, things look a little weaker, right? The weekly candle now has traded bearish engulfed. We've held support, I guess, at 5,100. Surprise. But this is like just not the momentum, not the energy I want to see. With 5 hours to go in the day, probably not going to see a huge mix up on gold today. So we're probably going to be looking at this candle to close similarly to this. RSI is still pretty fire though. That's still fire, man. You're all the way up. What do you guys think? We've been pretty good. I'm not going to abandon the 5,100 long yet, but my confidence in it is slowly being eroded. I'll give it that. If there's anything I'm missing, 20-day right here, support. I would say in this trade, I'd probably move the stop up, target a higher RR. Basically, I don't want to see a trade lower than it already has in this week, or else I think its structure is really at risk. And that was our problem with silver over here. Silver, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Where is the buying demand? This sell-off is like crushed it. This was not a quick recovery. At this point, we can officially say silver did not have a quick or snappy recovery. In fact, the opposite. It's lagging. It is failing highs. Like this structure back here was the first thing we noticed on silver, just a separation of its strength versus gold. Gold recovered, silver continued to hit lower lows. There was a brief moment where silver was looking good on the 2nd of March, on Monday of this week, trading above like 92, 93, and that just immediately got smashed. Now, it has held probably trendline support here, or at least its lows. But we need to see silver retest 93. You know, it could, like, by the end of the day, it probably won't happen. But we need to see that into next week. We do not want to see next week open lower and trade down. We could probably, or reasonably, set up a trade based on that thesis. Looking too long, I don't know. 82 is just theoretical. With our stop at this week's low and target that 93.70, something like that. I think this trade makes sense. Lower than 78, I wouldn't want to be in this. Retesting 93 can recreate some bullish structure here. But I'm skeptical, man. Gold looks weak, and it looks weakened. But gold has looked stronger than silver this whole time, and now silver is it's not doing it. It is now lower. It is bearish engulfing on the monthly from February. I don't think any of this makes sense. Maybe I'm missing something. It's bearish engulfed on the week and the month simultaneously. None of this makes sense. The world goes to war, and all of a sudden people jump out of metals, out of safety assets. Perhaps we can say that it was baked in. Perhaps the rallies on gold and silver were forecasting a global conflict, right? Charts often do uncanny things like that. I don't know. Is it already priced in? Did we price in the whole war? Beats me. It seems weird. I would expect this price action like into war. Maybe we can say the weakness here is baking in an end to it. I'll take that. I'll take some optimism and hopium. Let's say the bare minimum for silver's close this week. With the next 5 hours, 84.60. We are trading above it right now. It's not a big ask. Basically, just don't sell off. Please don't sell off into the end of the day. I don't know how I feel about that, man. It looks like a bear flag. What's up, young ASM and Colleen Gamad? How are you? Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you subscribing. You're goated. Happy Friday. Hope everybody's safe out there. We have viewers from all around the world, every country in the world. I guess except for like China, maybe. Even though we have viewers from China, never shows up on the analytics because they're not allowed to watch. But we have people in harm's way or around harm, and I hope you're all safe. Hope you're all safe, especially over this weekend. Bitcoin. Let's jump into Bitcoin, then we can look at some, I don't know, kind of more out there stuff. Bitcoin, I'll say, also kind of feeling like silver at this point, really had a nice moment in the sun on Wednesday. That was a good stream. Broke above resistance 71.3. I should have kept that short open. That short would be printing. But over the last 2 days has sold off and now looks largely crappy. We'll say rejecting from resistance. Close here, Bitcoin. Stop selling. Close here, 68.3. This is just like the daily order block we painted on the way up. This is a very bullish order block here on the day to push up towards the resistance, close, and then bullish engulf and close. That should be strong support. There's liquidity there. Ideally above 68.8, but I'll take 68.3. That's what I'd like to see. Now, here's the issue. Again, we were looking at a potential reversal from our big, nasty bear market fractal. That was some good hopium. It's still on the table, but it's threatened. Let's see if I can find this chart. It's threatened. Here we go. It's threatened. So we were looking for potentially an inverse, a mirror. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Of the bear market fractal from the previous cycle. Lighting this up. Here we go. These white bars are just 2022 copy pasted right onto the chart. Now, everybody has seen this chart. It's not surprising or new to anybody. But we were really closely following this, like identically following this pattern. You can see here, like all of our highs were matching, all of our lows. The breakdown, like just this is exactly the same. We got a little excited, and I haven't thrown out hope for this, but we got a little excited at the end of February when Bitcoin broke out of its bear flag to the downside, but recovered, put in a higher low, and pushed to resistance. The reason that was exciting is it looked exactly like the opposite of what this fractal we've been following did. Fractal broke to the upside of the bear flag. It failed the high, it put in a lower high, and it dumped. So what we saw was pretty much the exact opposite. And then we saw the move to the upside. This got exciting. But with a failure here, it doesn't really look like it. And it honestly starts to then... Oh, wait, it doesn't really look like the mirror. So we basically just flipped this price action upside down because that's what it appeared to be. And we looked for this move. It was exciting because we got an upward push. We got some invalidation of the at least short-term bear case. But now, like I was saying, with this, the last 2 days, this is looking not really similar anymore. And unfortunately, it's looking really similar again to this 2022 fractal. We just can't seem to get away from it. At this point, what we would be looking for is, well, here's our high, maybe into Saturday, Sunday, or even to Monday, Tuesday. If we get a lower high and we break here, we break 67, we're right back to this bear flag, high break, lower high dump. I hate it. I hate this. I hate it. Get me off this ride. It is hard to ignore. With these 2 days, it just looks so freaking similar to this. Can't catch a break. All right, cool. Bitcoin listened to me here, maybe just for the moment. Interesting that this is the support on the day. We just looked at that order block, 68.3, and we're battling with it right now. We saw slightly lower low earlier today. Now retesting that support. Looks like it kind of wants to break down, but battling it out here. Wouldn't be surprising to see price remain around this point into the daily close within, I don't know, a few percent. What's our week look like? Though our days look bad, our week also looks bad. I was going to say our week looks good. No, it doesn't. Our week looks kind of bad too. Well, it is likely going to close bullish engulf unless, this is interesting actually. Here we go. 67.7. That is where, like I just pointed out on that fractal, if price breaks lower than 67.7 after putting in another lower high over the weekend, we're probably looking for another leg down. That is also exactly the bullish engulfing line for the week. Even if it closes there and it is bullish engulfing, with this top wick, it's really not a bullish candle. In fact, these candles look really identical. I don't like that. January, right before the dump. March, question mark. These are not good. Tall top wick. Not a lot of bottom wick, but a kind of midget candle close with that heavy hat on. Son of a bitch. No, it would be good though. I'll be real. I think that this would be too good to happen because nothing is this convenient for us. If we did close like this and we do just see January and we dump to a next leg down, as crappy as that would be, at least it would be getting this move over quickly. Like that's some cope, I know. That is definitely coping, but it would like put us absolutely close to whatever bear market bottom we're going to find. That's why I think it's too good to be true. 36%. What do you got here? 38%. Let's do like 30, 40% from the high. 44. It would have to put, I feel like it would just have to put us close to the low. That'd be so fast. Wow. You know what? I hate this. I hate this. Look. Oh, God. Look at these weeklies. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. That is what's happening right now. We're just like a little bit higher at the moment. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's not good. Look at that. They're really similar. It's like a series of red candles. Some of the bodies getting tighter. Wicks. You get this candle. Oh my God. GG. Red candles. Bodies get smaller. You get these wicks. You have the heavy top hat. And then dump. Wow. Anyway. I think if this weekly candle closes below 67.7, I'll probably look for like a market order short. We'll see. We will find out. Oh my. Not what I wanted. Not what I wanted to see today. Maybe I'm being too bearish. I'm not sure. Probably because I didn't get my haircut. Freaking canceled my haircut, and then they're like, we'll do it tomorrow. And I was like, okay, we can do that. And then they're like, I don't have time today, even though we said we'd do it today. So I'm going to do it again today. We'll see. By Monday, I'll have a haircut. Even if I don't even know. I will cut it myself over the weekend if I don't get in there today. Bonkers. Okay, that was 30 minutes. That was a pretty good intro. What's up, Japanese Legends Quotes? Interesting name. Subscribed 2 minutes ago. Welcome, my guy. We have a super chat to look at SPX 69,000. Thanks. Thanks, Bitcoin Bajan. That was at the beginning of the stream. If you're still here, you've patiently waited, and I will reward that patience with some SPXing. Looking for a 50-cent target. Definitely not impossible. Not impossible. Let me mark this up a little bit and just take a look. I'll zoom out. Haven't looked at this chart in a while. It certainly doesn't look great. I will preface with literally any altcoin right now is a little bit crazy to long. A little bit crazy to long. Any altcoin. Even like Bitcoin is a little bit crazy to long. But these alts even more so. There's nothing specifically bullish that stands out about this chart to me. Isn't that Mirage guy? Mirage? What's he doing? Isn't he the guy who like did all this, pushed all this? What's he doing? Where's he at? He's got some explaining to do. 39, 48. If I was aiming for an upside target, 50 cents is probably the target I would take. Maybe a front run and do like 48. 25 cents bounced. Zoom out a little bit. After I do this SPX 69,000, I'll jump to the chat, see what you guys are talking about. I know I've been in the zone. Got a lot of red candles there. This is not the worst looking potential reversal candle for February. Bottom wick, top wick. It's like a doji. Nice little doge. Man, 31 cents. Indicators, cool. Not gonna lie, I would not take that trade. This looks basically taking a trade looking for a long to 50 cents on this chart is longing into, in my opinion, like longing into a momentum leg down. Now the whole market could reverse, things could change up, but like longing into this kind of move, right? Like I think that is, you're betting on a bullish move in what I'll say is like a bearish chart, and probably not the play. 50 cents again would be the target I'd look for if I was long in it. I'm gonna check the. You guys pick them. You know how to pick them. 50 cents. Okay, I'm gonna backtrack. 50 cents certainly possible, but no. I think you're looking for in the 40s if you're long in this at all. Weekly Ichi right here, 45 cents. That's fine. 48 cents, somewhere around there, and that's still, I think, betting on an outlier. No, not EMA. MA. Way below on the week, man. These charts are brutal. The only thing more brutal than these altcoin charts is my portfolio. RIP. No divergence on this low on the day. It's just the lowest point in price, lowest point in RSI. Money flow, momentum, VWAP. I think they're all pointing down. I don't like it. I don't like it, Bitcoin Bajan. I don't like it. I would almost want to like short 48, like limit order short it, then look for a move upwards to it. Problem also is your wick down here is at 22 cents. You're currently at 32. So where would you place your stop, you know? Unless you were already in it. That's a pretty big stop for not such a big upside. You get like a 1-to-1, yeah. 35% downside to get below the low. I guess you take like here. 20%, that's still big for a 2-to-1. I don't love it. Not the chart of the day. No. But I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate your super chat, my friend. Welcome. Or thank you, not welcome. There we go. Bitcoin holding on. 68.3 holding on. This is the zone I want to see it close above today for just to hold on to its structure. I also missed this subscriber in all caps, Alex Hunda. What's up, Alex? Welcome to the club. All right, let me refresh the chat. Crypto Great Depression confirmed. Yes. Let me refresh the chat. Let me see where y'all are at. Zillow keeps sending me. Zillow, you guys ever use Zillow? It's like they like want you to, they try to like put you with a real estate agent, and it's like, dude, I didn't ask for this. I don't want you to like continuously call me and text me. It's like I didn't ask for you. I don't know, Zillow's weird. You're welcome, Bitcoin Bajan. No music today? We can get music. What's up, Ultrasound Money? We can put on the tunes. I just wanted to get through what I was getting through here. It's a quiet day. We are live early because I have to go look at houses. So we're live early. It's just been quiet in general. Ooh, look at this. Look at that. YouTube featured. We're featured. Right there. It's coming. Look at it right here. The real estate. YouTube featured. I don't know what that means, but we are featured, baby. Let's go. Damn it. You guys are quiet today. I'm going to turn this audio down because it might blast you. Oh, yeah, that's loud. I'm glad I turned that down. See if this mix is good. Little dance party tunes. No luck yet, Luke. No, dude. I'm seeing a place today that that's why we're streaming early, because it's like I have to go there too. Like looking at the pictures, I'm pretty sure that I would be okay with. As I run out of time here, I have to be less picky, right? Zillow Zillow is a virus. Good level, thank you, Pickle. How you doing, brother? Good alt picks, dude. I just think longing alts right now is a crazy move. Crazy move. You know, I'll circle back to this on coin. 210. That was hell of a move from 150 to 210. Looking to reverse there at 210. Today's candle reinforcing this. As long as this is moving down, like I feel like unless coin breaks 210, altcoins are probably not in play. Probably not in play as the moves. It's just really hard to bet long on them. It's really hard to bet long on Bitcoin, and when that's the case, like, how do you bet? It's almost like a levered long when you do alts. Like levered on levered. It's rough. I think for now I'm just hands off on alts. Like, the last alt I was like into was Monero. We got the all-time high. We took some profit, but it just shit the bed again. And it seems like that's probably what everything is going to do that's doing anything right now. That was a solid trade. ASML, a stock. I would almost, this sounds weird for me to say, I'd almost rather long this stock. Weird. Rarely do I ever want to do that. 1250. 1250. A little bit higher, 1260. Even though that structure is weird. I'd almost rather long this. ASML finally coming back, coming home to the ascending wedge breakout. I think this is the path to great glory on ASML. That's right, Tillin, if you're here. The path to glory is the back test. Patience looking to be paid here. Did trade pretty low, 1,300 today, but still I think it has a little more discount coming. U.S. Treasury wants to intervene in oil futures to dump the market. Where'd you read that? That's interesting, Mitch. My thoughts. I didn't know that the Treasury did things like that. My thoughts are that it would likely be, I don't want to say it's like a good thing, because that kind of market manipulation and control is one, like a really bad thing for governments to do. I mean, we're talking like bad socialism, right? Like running markets. Not good socialism, like healthcare for everybody. Bad socialism, like government control and everything. I don't know, like, would that actually change anything though? That could, like, wouldn't that just temporarily dump the price, but almost like a rubber band, you know, just set it up for a short squeeze? I think that it would be the play right now to control inflation. You want to keep energy down. But the real answer is you need to solve the core of the problem. You need to solve the issue. And the issue is obviously related to what's going on now in the Mideast, whatever, going on in Iran. Clearly disruption there, and like oil supply is like what's happening, right? I think that's pretty easy to imagine. I don't think manipulating paper is the answer. I don't think it's like super unintelligent per se, but it seems like a weird move. Where did you read that? I'm gonna look that up. What's up? And hi. Hello. What's up, Nimoy? Be John and get up, like so. Nothing worse than moving to, bro. Moving is the worst thing on the planet. On the planet. The people, like the landlords I have been really nice people. You know, I like them. And I'm a nice guy, you guys know. I'm very empathetic and understanding. And when this first happened, you know, I was like, you know, their family's moving. Their family might live in like Jordan, so maybe they're also escaping like problems. And I was like, okay, I'll be understanding. And then as this is going on, I was like, no, screw that. Like, I'm mad. No, like, this is going to cost me thousands of dollars. It's going to cost me just like how many hours of my time packing, moving, finding this shit. And then also how much stress. And it's like, while I still don't think they're bad people, I've allowed myself to like be mad, to like be like, I don't like them. I'm mad at them. Yeah. It's not as simple as like, oh, we just asked you to move. Dude, you gave me like a month. Not a lot of time. I'm triggered. Put on some house. I put it on. WTI crude. Yeah, we were looking at oil. Oil is bonkers today. Definitely the chart of the day. This is just oil. You look at WTI. No, this is WTI crude oil. We pretty much started the stream with this. $93 today, looking very possible. Now I'm going to put that in the title. Let's see if we can whip up them oil viewers, whoever they are. I won't do anything, but I'll try. Let's see. What is... This is a chart I've not spent a lot of time on. I don't know why. I don't have a lot of data here. Look at these quarters. Quarterly kind of looks more toppy though. 105, 89. Damn, dude, look at that. That's fire. And it's all from like all trend line break. This has been setting up. Like this has been setting up for so long. Look at last month, closed like right at trend line, then boom, gaps up. Some BS. I am curious where, Mitch, you said you found that. Let me see. Long on Mega and Crude. Nice. Love from India. How you doing, India? Where is... Did you say where you saw it? You're at 460%. Nice, Mitch. Did you say where you saw that? Because I could also see that as being something that, like, you know, like, I don't know, someone just like floats that idea and like they don't actually have any intention of doing it. Aluminum ties with energy costs. I did not know that. Ooh, Mr. Pickle. Gifting the memberships. Thank you, my guy. It's a membership kind of day. Everybody here is probably a core viewer because Bitcoin's not moving. Grats Batman. Proto Hypes. That's a good name. Mad Genius. Jonathan. What's up, bros? Dude, my iPhone, I got the new iPhone like 17 and it jams typos into everything. I don't get it. Gold. We did go over gold. We went over a lot of charts. Gold is not looking as good as it has. I think I need a bigger chart for this. That's funny. Do you ever have this happen? You're on TradingView and you, I don't know, hit like second screen or I don't know. Somehow you end up with a really old chart. Look at this shit. This is Solana. So you're like, but wait, Solana's not at $18. This is Solana on FTX. Wow, what a throwback. November of 22. Like basically at the bear market bottom. Solana stopped trading at $18 on FTX. That's crazy. A little throwback, a little memory. This is probably good, probably a good lesson for people as we approach lower lows. Probably charts can fall and they can keep falling, and you can say, but they've fallen so much they can't fall anymore. Oh, they can keep falling. Solana was down 90% and then it fell another 50%. Like things can just keep on falling. Let's do like WTI, man. US crude spot. Why is US crude spot? Let's do futures. Why is there very little data going on here? What's happening? WTI isn't new, is it? Right? You can't share, yeah, no, Mitch, you can't, because bots would just spam malware. But you can just say, like, I don't know, you saw it on something. Or you can put it in the Discord. Great time to shill the Discord. Discord's free, discord.gg/TomCrown. Jump in there, join the community. People from all over the world talking 24 hours a day about charts, I don't know, boobs, stuff. While you're at it, sign up with our exchange partners. BYDFi and Femex, links pinned to the top and in the video description below. Great exchanges, you can use them from anywhere. Oil futures price history, full chart trading view. Why is this hard to find? CL1? There we go. There we are. Yeah, check out the exchange partners. You can put them in the Discord, or yeah, that's about it. Found the old sticker from Reuters. Thank you, Mitch. Yeah, March 5. U.S. Treasury Department could announce measures as soon as Thursday to address rising energy prices, potentially including action in the oil futures market. I wonder if I'm gonna Google that. I wonder if that's ever been done before. Watch your screens. Called it. Intervention by the Treasury in this market would be unprecedented. The analogy of utilizing Treasury market futures during GFC is not apples to apples. For starters, U.S. Treasury has a natural position in the bond market. In this case, I assume the goal is to lower futures prices, which theoretically would involve selling futures on the open market. And a lot of them clearly would affect prices. Going naked short in this market at this time requires a lot of resources to support the position. In the event of a further acute supply disruption event, the Treasury does have unlimited. Ooh, that is concerning. That is really concerning. That is concerning for so many reasons. And, you know, this is just an article some guy wrote. We don't know if this is going to happen. We don't know how this would play out. But that thought is scary. Think of this. So let's say this is the path. This is all theoretical at this point. See, the Treasury does decide to do this, like naked short oil in huge numbers to push the price down. What does that open up to? Not going to be political, but I think that right now in the U.S. there's more corruption going on than there's ever been. There's been lots of corruption always. I think that there is a lot more going on right now, maybe to exponential scale, double previous. Anyway, think about the corruptive potential here. Those with insider information. I'm talking about everybody in the government. It's not just one person or anything. What do you do in this scenario? So you have insider information and you decide to either short with the Treasury because you know they're going to do it first and you can write it down, or, and this is the more scary part because I think we're already, with prediction markets, we're already insider trading everything. The scarier part is the unlimited funds thing. So think of this scenario. They go through with this with unlimited funds. And that's the only way you can really enter into this as the Treasury. You can't go in and be like, we have this many billions and that's all we're going to use, right? You can think that. But at the end of the day, that's not going to be it. Because if that market moves against you, you're going to have to keep shorting. You can't have that market go the other way on you. Period. You can't. And so what does that open up to? It opens up to this infinite kind of money generation scenario where they have to just literally print infinite dollars to keep the price down. You could have people insider trading that know that the price isn't going to be kept down and then it's going to squeeze and they can ride that. And there's like just the Treasury is bankrupt scenario, which is like impossible to actually be bankrupt, but that doesn't mean you can't end up in a scenario just as bad and damaging. This is weird. I really hope that this is just like a passing thought. This is strange. Could dampen speculation, and that's likely the entire point, is to dampen speculation. They probably, similar to, I don't know, like GME and stuff when that was going crazy on Robinhood, like they didn't want people trading it. They just, turned off trading. This is like kind of a different way of doing that to just cool people speculating on it and trading it. I don't know, man. I think what that really does is just puts it in the pockets of the people who know. Wild. Which should moderate the spike in oil prices. By the way, it might even be like too late by the time I do this, by Thursday. That's wild. They don't want people pushing it up right now because it's going to drive inflation like crazy. It does not solve. Here we go. And this is, damn, I'm so smart sometimes, guys. I see why you watch. This does not solve the disruption of the physical supply. Exactly. It does not solve the problem. It seems almost insane to even like bring it up if it's not just a bluff to get people to chill. Like without solving the problem, you're going to naked short something that we're crazy, dude. Did we just go full degen as a country? Like we've been degen as retail forever, but did we just go full degen as an entire country? Which is significant with the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Yeah. And insider traders are government officials are gonna know when that's going to change, when that's gonna reopen. Oh my God, this is bad. Didn't we just take all the oil from Venezuela? Like, was it? I know that was like weeks ago at this point. Find it. If substantial oil volumes are kept off the market, so what are we going to do? Other countries that maybe we've pissed off recently, the list is all of them, perhaps, have no real incentive to put supply on the market. What are we doing? This is a very novel, think outside the box move. Shut the hell up. Phil Flynn. What a terrible name. Instead of using physical barrels to try to ease market conditions, you can sell futures the front and buy the back end. This is a bad movie. We're in a bad movie. And here's what's gonna happen if we do this. Here's my foresight, my psychic ability. If we do something like this, which I don't think we will because that's too crazy, but if we did, bet. Remember when that boat clogged up that, like the canal or whatever it was? It was that big boat, and it shut down everything in the world for a while. We will see that. We will just see, oh no, oh, you're naked shorting with infinite, oh no, a boat stuck. Like, we're going to see the world accidentally strangle supply more. That's, seems like a suicidal move. I don't know. Whoa. We live in a strange timeline. Crude. And like, oh dude. And then like, here's another element of this is, I'll say like similar kind of like to gold and stuff, right? Crude has been kept down, similar to metals. This has been kept down. Its highest point was in 2008. Can you name anything other than, like, what are those old TVs called? Analog TVs or something? Can you name anything that is down 40% since 2008? That isn't just like obsolete, you know, obviously. I'll wait. That looks like primed to explode, doesn't it? Like, how has the cost of oil not risen with the cost of everything else? And the answer is, well, obviously we have incentive to keep it down. There's advances in its acquisition. There's advances in its use and its refining. Yep, of course, it's gotten more efficient, but it hasn't gotten 40% in 20 years cheaper, more efficient. What if that's the plan to end the dollar? What if that's the end of the dollar? We naked short oil infinitely, and then it pumps to the moon. I don't even know what that means. I think that just means we print infinite dollars. I mean, it's always coming. We're gonna print infinite dollars someday. Whether it's this month, this year, 10 years, we're gonna print them. We already are printing infinite dollars. Jesus Christ. We live in the strangest of times, said everyone ever. I do find that interesting that all humans that have ever lived have been like, we live in the strangest of times. The world is falling apart. Man has lost its morals. We've been saying that since the dawn of the dawn of civilization. It's crazy. I guess it's just always been true. And then you look back and you imagine though that life certainly sucked at the dawn of civilization. And so at what point did was it actually true that we were at the downfall? I don't know. Okay, I gotta move on from that idea. That's bonkers. What are we doing? Low recovery on gold. Tiny. We want to look at what else has gone off. Rut, short paying. It's almost 12. It's almost 9. All right. It's almost noon here. Yeah, there was some crazy storms last night. Did anybody else, wherever you are, do you have some crazy storms? Apparently, a tropical storm is when there's like maybe cold air above, hot air below. I remember. But last night it was the opposite of a tropical storm. It was like cold air was above and the hot air was below. Or vice versa. Whatever. The opposite of a tropical storm. And there was the craziest thunder and lightning I've ever heard in my entire life. I thought a bomb went off. Honestly. Like, I was watching TV and I like storms. I like thunder and lightning. I like rain. It calms me. I never get startled by it. Ever. And there was just this one boom out of nowhere that I thought a bomb went off. And for a second, I was like, I might only have like 30 seconds to live. I was like, what just happened? I like jumped out of my seat a little bit. I don't know. It's crazy. West Coast, not East Coast, baby. Oil is booming, Scott. Lower and lower moral standards every year, but that's what we've said since the dawn of humanity. YB, is it true? Because I feel like that it isn't true, right? Because in the dawn of civilization, we had no morals. We constructed morals after. So like, first civilization, no morals. I don't know. What's up, King Peasant? Flat screen TVs and tablets. Yeah, but I said not obsolete. So you're referring to those things, but they're referring to like obsolete versions, right? Like obsolete, I don't know, RAM obsolete, storage capacity, like any good that is like being used at the same capacity. And the answer is like there just really aren't any. Cathode ray tech. I don't even know what that is. Who's Jake Claver? Took profits on oil this morning. Hells yeah, dude. Well done. I also would take profits on oil. If I had an oil long for some reason, I would also take profits right now. Not financial advice. You gotta do what's good for you. I'm not even saying short. I wouldn't open a short right now at 90, maybe like 93. But like I would close a long. Hell yeah, dude. I would close my long. It's up 13% today. It's up almost 2x from December. I would close. I would take profit. That's me. Your cheating first tablet was okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. I see what you're saying. But you know, there's some validity what you're saying, Nimoy. I would also say that kind of original tablets or original smartphones, comparatively spec wise, are more expensive, I would assume. Like you look at you buy an iPhone now, what do you get? You don't get anything. When you bought an iPhone before, you used to get AirPods, you used to get charging cables, like you used to get everything. Now you don't get anything. You also get, like, they just downgrade all of the stuff. Like you get like no storage, you get no hard drive space. You have to like pay extra for it. So I would argue if you kind of do like the top tier or whatever, the high options on it, you're probably looking at like a normal increase in price from then. But it's not a bad one. I think that's probably the best one. Would I sell at 90s and go short on oil? I wouldn't. I would not go short on oil at the moment. I would though close long. I would take profit. I would not go short on oil though. Not with what we just read. That is some weird stuff. Like government treasury naked shorting oil potentially. Like I wouldn't want to be in that trade. Where did the other chart go? Screw you, tether dominance don't recover. Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Dow is looking more and more like a top to 50K. You can blame Pam Bondi. No one person should have all that power. That's bonkers. $45. That's only a 10% retrace. %12 on the year, though. Hmm? %20. This rut trade is going to be epic. I don't know where my other oil chart went. That's okay. Yeah, but the last thing I would do is long oil right now. It is up so high. It is up in like a problematic way. Very problematic. It doesn't look like it wants to break higher. No. No, I must resist. I must. We don't long things like that here. What's up, Eastman 3000? Where's the old school Tom ripping the Benjamin? My guy. I know, we've come a long way. Come a really long way. Not wearing the glasses. I got them right here. Not wearing the glasses. Not ripping the Benjamin. I know, big changes. I have not had any nicotine. I'll say intentionally. I think I smoked like a blunt. In between then and now, like kind of not thinking about it. But I have had no nicotine. Not even like a drunk puff. Not even when I was at Lost Lands. Do things worse than nicotine. I've had zero cold turkey since November of 23. No, 24, because it's 26. It's been a year and like 3 months. Zero. Done. Never thought I could do it. Never thought it was possible. Like, when you saw me ripping the Benjamin here, you would have asked me if I was ever going to quit vaping. I probably would have said no. And even if I said yes, I would have been thinking like, there's no way I'll ever live my life and not be in like maybe I can stop doing it, but I'll never stop like craving it, you know? No cravings. Nothing. Was not easy. Was not an easy time in the beginning, but you know, I was not a very happy person for like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't think it got easier though until a few months. Like a few months, it just like really cooled down. People are full of bullshit. I think it's good to maybe bullshit people and tell them that it won't be so bad. It won't. It'll only be. You'll only crave it for like a week, because I think that it helps them quit. But nah, man, longer than that. But now zero. There are random times where I'll be like, I'll just like I don't know why, but like randomly I'll be like, huh. Like I'll see a sign maybe that says like no vaping that I used to like see and vape by and be like, oh, vape, and I'll think about it, but it's not a craving. I'll just think about the vape and then I'll think, what, like if I were to smoke a vape right now, what would happen? How would I feel? And the answer is I would probably feel dizzy because I haven't had any nicotine, but I likely would just feel sick, dizzy, and then the biggest feeling I would have would be I want to hit the vape again, and there's zero good feeling there. There's no positive. There's no upside. And then as soon as I have those thoughts, I'm like, yeah, I don't want that. I just like drop the idea. Yeah. Glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. I did see T-Pain. T-Pain premiered at Lost Lands as a DJ. Zins helped you quit. I mean, cigarettes are the worst. Here's the tier. Cigarettes are the worst. Period. Or maybe chewing tobacco. No, cigarettes and then chewing tobacco. They're like here. I think chewing tobacco is like a little better because at least it's not going in your lungs. You're just getting the cancer in your mouth. And then I think it's like vaping and Zyn stuff is like down. And it's probably vaping is worse and then Zyn is like a little lower. Whatever you can do to cut down to get lower, is good. As long as you are doing it for you, you're doing it because you want to. Like you gotta have your head in the right space. You can't. I don't want to say you can't, like literally you can't, but like you really can't force yourself to quit any addiction. It's just like not how addictions work. I think you need to retrain yourself. You need to maybe do some of the little psychedelics or maybe have a little chemical help on that front. But you need to like retrain yourself. You need to identify your habits. Like you need to identify the habit of like what you're doing. You need to realize you don't want to do it anymore. Like you have to say, I don't want to do it anymore. You have to not want to do it. And then you have to identify the why you do it, what you get from it, what costs are involved, what good things are involved. Like I'll say when I smoked cigarettes many, many years ago, 10 years ago, I used to love just like walking up to someone and being like, yo, can I bum a cig? And then like talking to a stranger. If you've ever smoked cigarettes, that is, you're just in a conversation now. That was great, that social aspect. That social aspect did not exist with vapes, though. It's weird. You can't just like go up to someone and be like, yo, can I bum your vape? And then like talk to them. It's weird. But you'll find that the list of positives is very small and the list of negatives is bigger. And once you do that, you can start retraining yourself every time. Basically, you feel an urge to do something. You have to just stop yourself and say, all right, I can do this if I want, but I'm going to think, what am I going to get from it? How am I going to feel? What's it going to take from me? And if you truly want to be done with something, you'll progress from that. Yeah, that's how I feel. Anyway, moving on. Didn't work down from zins to nothing. Yeah. Shroomies, whatever you need. You have some targets, David, for Bitcoin? Man, Bitcoin needs to bounce here or we're cooked. This is what we don't want to see. We do not want to see over the weekend, like into Monday, a failed rally. We don't want to see this. That will be bad. I'd say trading below 67.7 or like 67. I'm looking for lower. Looking much lower. Even just saying that, I feel like we are going to go to 71.5 over the weekend. We are going to fail. It's terrible. What's up, 𝐂𝐡 Crypto? How you doing, man? See that with drinking? It applies to all addiction. All addiction is the same thing. I could just open up a channel about this. I never understood addiction at all until I quit vaping. I empathize with people who are addicted to things, but I never understood it. The most common addiction that you see is food. People are addicted to food. Yeah, you got to eat, but it's different. Addiction is a chemical drive to do something. You have to be careful when you talk about it because I want to say things like that is beyond your ability to control, which is the reason it's difficult is because like it's not as black and white as that, but that is like addiction. Addiction is something that you don't choose. Addiction is something that you are chemically compelled to do. And we are chemically compelled to do almost everything we do in our lives, period. If your dopamine shut down in your brain and your brain didn't give you any dopamine, you would just die. And you wouldn't die because you didn't feel happy or good. Like, I don't know, maybe you would, but like in the sense of you would die because you just wouldn't go eat. You wouldn't get up to drink water. You wouldn't get up to eat. You wouldn't move. You would just sit there until you died because we are driven by chemicals. You can argue free will. I'm not going to argue it or not, but like it is a strange question to ask. Do we have free will when we are driven so dependently on chemicals? And we can condition those chemicals. It's hard and it takes time. And it takes the right mindset and the right strategies, I think. But I didn't understand addiction. Now I think I do, or better. And I have a lot of empathy because it is not just quit. Just quit is not an answer. Just quit telling someone to just quit has never helped a single person get away from an addiction, period. Ever. It's not about willpower. It's about relearning. It's about like relearning and training yourself. Honestly, kind of like a dog. If you could just quit from willpower, nobody would ever be addicted to anything. Addiction isn't something that weak-minded people have and strong-minded people don't. Bro, I'll tell you right now, you're standing there and if you're thinking, well, that's not true. I control myself and I blah, 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 blah. Right now, if someone came up and jabbed you with a needle of heroin, you're not going to strong will your way out of not being addicted to heroin. Like, period. It's not about will. It's a weird topic. It's a weird topic that is hard to talk about because people who have never been addicted to things, or at least don't know they're addicted to things, have a really hard time understanding. Yeah, I don't know. Bitcoin, just go. I want you to pump. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of down. This is the scariest thing all day. If you weren't here for this, I'm sorry. You're going to have to see it because I had to see it. And now I'm sad. You know, we could actually do it this way. Is this the same chart? All right, I do copy it. Ooh. Check this out. I had to see it, now you have to see it. Here we go. Prepare for sad. Prepare for your day to be rained on, your party to be rained on. All right, here we are. This is today. On the week, this is right now. Okay, right here. I love this today. I love that song. Boom, 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 boom. That's old. That's a good beat, though. There you go. Ready? Look at this. $2012 or 2022 today. I do not like that. It's identical, man. It's the exact same thing. That low green. You have this big slew of reds off your failed high. Big slew of reds. Big bodies. The bodies tighten up. You get this low green. Off the failed high. Big old bodies. They get tiny. You get this little green. And what happened? I don't like it. I hate it. It looks so similar. It looks exactly the same. I hate it. I hate it. Yeah, I know, not like this. It's terrible. But am I crazy? Am I just seeing this? Like, cooked. Damn it, Bitcoin. Can't you just surprise us to the upside for once? Definitely can. Just quit. I just quit. I just quit nicotine. That's not really the point I was making. The point I was making is not, it's not willpower though. It's not like just quit. Just stop doing that. It's not it. It's simplifying it. It's simplifying it in a way that's not helpful for people. That's what I think. What else can we look at? You see it. What are the chances they play out exactly the same? I hope not at all. But like, I mean, it's so far. They've been playing out pretty similar. Is anything even up in crypto? Pi Network is up 33, or it's up 3% today. Remember Pi Network? Remember when I told you guys not to buy it and I said just sell it if you have it? And remember? Do you remember that, guys? Do you remember how many coins that I have like say protected you guys from? But protected you guys from. Although I will say this kind of does look like it wants to make some kind of move to the upside. But like, please take profits and don't buy this. Price was at $2.18. There we are. Trade as low as 13. There's just no value proposition to this. This is just something. This is like the infinite airdrop. Like everyone who participated in this had to wait years to do anything with it till their mainnet came online. They all got their coins for free, basically. They're like watch ads. And so what are they going to do? Why would they buy more? Well, all they're going to do is sell and take profit. And as it goes down, they're going to sell and take more profit. Some people like jumped into it because it pumped for a day, 2 days, 3 days, right? Pumped. That's up 3% on 24 hours. It's the second biggest gainer in the top 300 over the week. Many people swap one addiction for the other. I mean, I think I largely did that too, like with the gym. I was going to the gym hardcore when I quit. Totally true. And when you face the reality of that, it means you really didn't quit an addiction. You just swapped it. I will say that's a good thing, though. It's a good choice, good maneuver, not discouraging it. But yeah, you're not really quitting if you're just swapping it for something else, even if it is better. Do I think WLD is similar? Is that the WorldCoin thing? Absolutely. An argument? I haven't preached this stuff in a long time. You guys know I like proof of work. It's what I believe in the space. That's why I support Litecoin. That's why I support Dogecoin, Bitcoin. Proof of work. It's not because I just randomly decided that one day and wanted to, I don't know, be stubborn. It's because proof of work creates a model, creates an incentive. I don't know what the exact words are, but what proof of work is when coins are created, they are paid for. They're paid for. When you airdrop, you get WLD, you get Pi. When they're airdropped, you haven't paid anything. You just get them. You have no cost basis. You don't have a level in which, like, you're in profit or loss. You're just in profit. There are some exceptions. I don't know, where you had to pay for airdrops, whatever. But in general, there is no cost basis, and so there's no level at which you stop selling. There's no level at which you say, well, I won't sell because I don't want to lose money. And in proof of work, there's always that level. There's always a very established cost. You mined it. You had to pay for that mining. That creates, like, in my mind, it creates, and probably in reality, I want to call it a floor, but it creates a value. It is not something that was free. Money was put into it to create it. When you don't do that, I feel as if there is a loss of just an intrinsic value for the whole thing. You value things you pay for. You don't tend to value things you get for free. This isn't this the one where you scanned your eyeballs? What a crazy idea in crypto. No, thank you. I mean, this is $12, now down to 38 cents. It does look like shit, doesn't it? This looks like it wants to break up, like, short term, but there's just what is the incentive here? Like, why would you be buying this? What are you gaining from it? There's market makers that can buy this because maybe there's profit to be made, pushing price up, liquidity, taking leverage positions. But what is it? What's the value prop? And the value prop that almost all of crypto is relied on or leaned on over the last decade is, like, utility, use, which is logical, but there just isn't any. Like, what use case is there? There are literal, you can name them. Well, they say it's this and that, right? But who's actually getting value, actually using it? And the answer is almost always no one. So you don't have that fundamental value of it being paid for in its creation, like proof of work. You don't have any real like, you don't even have, like, a narrative anymore of value. What is there? Nothing. That's why I think most of these coins are just going to, like, nothing. That looks like shit. I'm just looking up ones that have moved in the last 7 days. Not a lot. What's this? Oil pump's gonna be rugged big time, probably. Like I said, I would take profit right now. Canton short, 18 cents filled. Or long did not fill. Yeah, this long filled long time ago. They got stopped. This is actually one of the better looking charts. I will concede that to you guys. The only charts that don't look completely like death are charts that have not traded a long time. This chart actually wasn't even around during the October sell-off. Maybe we can say charts that weren't around in October are probably looking better than others. This one doesn't look bad. I stand by that short, but I think that the short is losing validity here. You are painting something that looks like it wants to break to the upside. Retesting resistance. Sellers are not pushing price down. Kind of interesting. I think it is a symptom of the chart and its birth. You know, it wasn't around in October, didn't live that, so the crash of price isn't visible here. The crash of valuation is just not here. I don't think that is a very bullish case for long term or even medium term. But this does kind of look like it wants to break up. Like, invert this and tell me that doesn't look bearish. Like, that looks bearish as hell. Kind of cool. Those coins are below zero. What's up, Alexandra? What's up, Travis Sullivan? Travis Sullivan. That Monopoly man. I know who that is. My brain is tingling. Looks like we're ready to lose 68. We're hanging out here, that's for sure. This is where I want to see it hold today. That looks really bad. You're right. That looks terrible. Yeah, it looks like we're about to lose 68. Rip. Wow. Terrible. That does look bad. All right, it's 12:30, my friends. It's Friday. Go out, have some fun. Bitcoin and its red candles will be here when you come back. Go spend some time with friends, maybe outdoors. It's supposed to be warm next week. Hopefully it is. I appreciate you tuning in. If you're not, make sure you're subscribed. We're going to be live again Monday at the latest. We go live whenever it's spicy, though. We're live Monday. I hope you're there. We have the FOMC coming up on the 18th. Another 10 days or so away from that. Jump in the Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. Join the good times. Sign up with our partners in the video description below. Help support the stream. Appreciate that. And I hope you have a great weekend. Hope you stay safe if you're somewhere that might be in danger.